Hi, I'm Mark Cleghorn and welcome to Pose-Tober on the Photographer Academy, and we're looking at boudoir photography and how you can add different ideas into your session to either spice it up or just to add more variety. So every day on the Academy, we're adding one new image in for you, and you can check up here on our YouTube channel to kind of see the same content, but obviously our members get it ahead of time. But the Pose-Tober series is focused obviously on boudoir photography and their kind of how-to, so I'll explain the poses step by step. We can also look at why to add them in perhaps into your sessions to add that variety. But I'm sure that during the 31 ideas that we're giving you during the course of the month, you're going to be able to take it away, whether it's classic, creative, different moods and styles, different body shapes. You'll be able to actually add in the different kind of styles, as I said. So welcome to week 4 of Pose-Tober, our boudoir photography series. And we're really concentrating this week on more confident and powerful poses. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're trying to make the client look like an executive, but it's more of a hero image, something that has a real edge and something that is strength, as well as something that is going to be a little bit more dynamic perhaps and things. So confidence and power is really what we're trying to exude this week. Our first pose of the week is the power pose, and this is where the subject is either going to be kneeling or standing, kneeling on the bed, kneeling on the floor, or standing full length, of course. And this is where the knees or the legs will be slightly apart from each other, and the hands are used usually on the hips, running down the side of the body, running above the through the hair, or actually posed above the actual head with the arms crossed, leaning on the actual head itself. It's designed to actually give us our hero image. It's our kind of really exuding the confidence. It's also a great way for us to do some detailing on the lingerie as well as we're going through it. So when the subject is kind of stood up in this kind of pose, whereas we usually talk about the weight is on one foot, we can basically kind of go with this pose where the weight is equally balanced on one foot to the other, whether they're facing camera or facing away from camera as such. With the legs slightly apart, this is kind of going to give us the real kind of power. Obviously, we've got to watch that some lingerie is too revealing, so it kind of is better as a back shot than a front shot. And you've also got to make sure that the panties are kind of repositioned to make sure that nothing is showing. So with the legs apart, that is our kind of hero, but then our kind of eye level position is really where we want. So we often talk about kind of ground level or worm eye view. Then we talk to a neutral view, then a kind of a normal view. So as we kneel, it tends to be more of a low camera angle. A neutral view is where we're kind of kneeling on one knee and we're just kind of raised up a little bit more. Then we've got the kind of the neutral kind of shot where basically we're just that little bit higher, so we're kind of more around the boob level. Then we go to a higher level where we're photographing just above the boobs, and then obviously we've got a kind of an eye level image where we're at least at the client's eye level to be shooting with. We do have a extra one of these where we're talking about the kind of different angles and so on. But basically for the power shot, you're really looking to shoot around about knicker line or down to the knee kind of image. So we're looking at more of a neutral view or a low camera angle as such. By doing that, we're exaggerating the length of the legs, plus it's giving us that exaggeration of the space between the legs as well with it. Not all body shapes kind of really suit it. However, if they're controlled with the likes of a bodysuit or whatever, absolutely you can kind of get into a power pose. Just don't shoot as close as such. A kneeling on the bed for many clients feels more comfortable than a stood up image, doing exactly the same thing. There's just something psychological that's going on there. And plus for you as a photographer, if you're just getting started, it's a better kind of place to start with a power or hero image with a kneeling on the bed. As far as the hands are concerned, even though I've got them here, as you can see, just on each of the thigh, they could be around the knicker line. They could actually be playing with the detail. They could even be stretched out of shot and things. But we can shoot this power pose both full length, 3/4 length, close up. The choice is really you. But as far as the power pose is concerned, it starts with the knees or the feet being spread apart more, and basically all the weight distributed evenly, and then we can decide on what to do with the body, whether it's twisting or kind of just keeping it flat on. So when the subject is facing towards camera position, you can see we can just slightly drop a hip to kind of turn the one hip away as well, and that will add a little bit more to the kind of the strength of the hero image. When the subject is turned away from camera position, we need to make sure that the bottom is really kind of photographed phenomenally well, especially if the client is wearing the likes of a thong or a very thin strap on the back of the pant. Then we've got to really concentrate on kind of realigning the weight on the knees or the feet to make sure that the bottom looks fantastic. But the power pose is really about feet apart and camera angle lower down. If you'd like to see some more content on the Photographer Academy, simply go over to thephotographeracademy.com, and if it's boudoir photography you're interested in, just scroll onto portrait, then kind of scroll down to boudoir, click onto that, and you'll see a whole host of different kind of topics for you to actually click onto, and any of the orange banners then takes you to the pages where you can actually follow that through to see more of our content.